My name is Mårten, and this is my journey into photographing the stars and deep sky objects. As you can see here, I have the SkyWatcher EvoFrame camera rotator mounted on my focus tube. Inside of this, I have threaded a 2-inch Baader UHC-S L-Booster Nebula filter. I'm going to image the elephant trunk nebula with this filter and then compare the processed image to an earlier capture I did without the filter. About a month ago, I captured the elephant trunk nebula, and I must say I was a bit disappointed about the amount of data or details that I was able to pull out of the data that I captured. Since I'm using an unmodified DSLR, I'm a bit restricted when it comes to the wavelength that I'm able to capture. I've been thinking of ways to enhance my results and came across the Baader UHC-S L-Booster Nebula filter. Since I'm using the SkyWatcher EvoFrame camera rotator, I'm able to thread a 2-inch filter natively inside of the camera rotator. If we look at the spectrum, you see that the 500 nanometers actually represent H beta and oxygen 3, and the 650, 680 nanometer range actually represent H alpha and the O2 range. This means that it will filter out city lights and other artificial lights, but it will also filter out a lot of light that you might want to capture, for example, when imaging the Pleiades or the Andromeda Galaxy or stars in general. For those targets, it's not optimal to use a nebula or enhancement filter, I would say. Without further delay, let's take a look at the results. Here on the left, you see a single 240-second sub, not using a filter, and on the right, a 240-second sub using the Baader filter. You can see that the stars are much less pronounced to the right, and that's because the filter blocks some of the lights emitted by the stars. You can also see that you have a lot more nebulosity visible even in a single sub. Let's take a look at the stacked images. So this is a stack of images without the filter, and to the right you see a stack using the Nebula filter. First of all, I must point out that the stack to the right here with the filter has about twice the amount of time, just to clarify, and you might have seen more nebulosity in this to the left if you had the same amount of time, but probably not. When you take a first look, you see that the stars are much less pronounced. You see a lot less stars than to the left. Again, that's because some of that light is blocked. You see a lot more nebulosity. You also see a lot more O3 data that is blue in this image in the one using the filter compared to the one using a non-filter, I would say. How about the final processed images? So this is my personal preference. Of course, others might have processed these entirely different than I did. So the image to the left here, again, without a filter, you see much more bloated stars. I've tried to enhance the blue color in here. The image to the right, much less bloating on the stars. A lot more red color, I would say. I've enhanced the red and blue color in the image to the right. Might have overdone it a bit on the darkness of the image, but overall I would say I'm fairly happy with the result, and I actually like the image using the filter much more. I will continue to evaluate this filter, and hopefully in the future I will have access to an Astro camera that will enable me to switch out filters a bit more easily than unscrewing the optical assembly. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. And if you want to see anything else, please leave a comment. Until the next video, I wish you clear skies.